Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. We've got X, the Tracer VG. It's time for gaming. That's their YouTube user handle. I'm pretty confused. I don't know which camera I would take, if it's the GX8 or the G7. So they're looking at the two Panasonics. I found the GX8 with kit lens for 14 to 42, the 14 to 42 kit lens at 860 euros, and at the same price the G7 with the 14 to 140. Now, side note, that's what I bought, the kit with the 14 to 140. I love that lens. I have to say that I'm looking for a cam that allows me to do some high quality videos, editable in post production, and I haven't understood yet if there are any differences between the quality of the 4K and 1080 footage of these cams. Well, side note, I'm just going to answer that right now. Yes, quality in the 4K is so much better. Think of it as like getting a RAW file versus a JPEG file. It's just so much more resolution. You're going to get a better file even if you want 1080. If you shoot 4K and export down to 1080, it's just going to look nicer. It's going to be sharper and better quality. I wasn't a convert with 4K until I started shooting it with the Panasonic cameras, and I love it. So there you go. It also allows you to crop tightly in, so you can shoot with the 4K, and you can use 4K to allow you to look like you're shooting from different camera angles, like having B cameras by zooming in, but not losing any quality when you export to 1080. So yeah, awesome. Okay, back to what he's saying here. If there aren't some important differences, I maybe will go with the GX8 because it has the weather protection and image stabilization. But if the quality of the footages are better in the G7, I could buy it with a major lens than the 14 to 42. Is there someone could help me, please? Okay, well, first of all, you don't have to choose between the two based on 4K because they're both 4K cameras. So they're both going to do excellent quality 4K. The GX8 has probably a little better sensor for photography, a little more resolution, a little more advanced, although the G7 has a fantastic sensor. I've shot lots of photos, lots of photography with it, and I love it. As far as 4K footage, I don't think you're getting any advantage from the GX8, which is a little bit newer, over the G7. I think really they're both amazing 4K cameras, and I love the G7 for price-wise. You can pick up a G7. I know you're talking euros, but in the States, in the United States, a G7 you can get for about $5.99 with a lens, and often with a bonus video mic or something else thrown in too. So essentially, you're getting the camera and the lens for about between $400 or $500. So it's an amazing deal. Some of the best 4K video on the market today. Just beautiful cameras. I'm shooting that right now with the G7. I have my favorite Micro Four Thirds lens on it right now, which is arguably one of the best portrait lenses out there, regardless of format of cameras. It's the Panasonic 42.5 f1.7. Love, 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 love that lens. But the 14 to 140 you're looking at is a very, very, very good all-around lens. Love it. It's a great walk-around lens. Very good. I have no problems with it whatsoever. So you don't need to choose between the G7 and the GX8 in terms of what's better for 4K video, because they both do excellent 4K video. You need to choose which one you want to spend the money on. Would you rather have a little bit more money for lenses, and then form factor too? So I mean, it's going to cost you less for the G7, so you'll have some more money for lenses. The GX8 is going to cost you a little more, but it's a little more compact. It's a different form factor. Like the G7 is like a mini DSLR, still very small. I really like the G7. Not that I don't like the GX8, but it's just hard to beat the value in the G7. What do you guys think? Would you recommend the GX8 or the G7, and why? Give him your answer, your choice, and the reasoning behind it. Let's leave that in the comments below. Let's discuss it. Help him choose between GX8 and G7. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your question, and we'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.